A Florida man broke into a home and covered the walls and furniture in barbecue sauce before the house went up in flames. A Florida man is caught drunk driving and blames it on a medical condition that he can't pronounce. A Florida woman who wanted to sacrifice her husband and son also tried to strangle a nurse. And a Florida man, along with two others, were caught having sex in the parking lot of a Winn Dixie. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News. They are all from the state of Florida because it's Florida Friday. That's what I do on Weird AF News. Only weird stories from Florida. Here we go. A Florida man is arrested for breaking into a home, spraying barbecue sauce all over the walls and furniture before the house caught fire. This guy's a little bit confused. You're supposed to cook the house and then add the sauce. Let's learn a little bit about this Florida man in Newberry, Florida. Evan Hunter Hammock, age 20, Florida man star of our story. He was arrested yesterday after allegedly breaking into a home and spraying barbecue sauce on the walls and the furniture before the house caught on fire. Well, I'm sure you've all heard of Texas-style barbecue, Memphis-style barbecue. This is Florida man-style barbecue right here. I mean, you can't expect Florida man to eat all the walls and that furniture all plain and dry like that. No, you need to flavor it up. You need to marinate the chandeliers. Let's get these sweet and tangy details. At 5:47 a.m., Alachua County Sheriff's deputy responded to the home after a fire was reported and learned that earlier in the evening, Florida man Evan allegedly entered the house, breaking in, took multiple bottles and jars of condiments from the refrigerator and sprayed the contents over multiple walls, including the couches and even a bed. He marinated the bed, guys. Let's find out what Florida man's recipe is. It says the deputy identified two of the substances as barbecue sauce, matching containers found on the floor in the house. After Evan, the Florida man, allegedly burglarized and vandalized the home, he reportedly called 911 to report that the house was on fire. The roof is on fire. He was inviting his friends over for a little barbecue all-you-can-eat. He just called the wrong number. He called the police instead. Now, when the deputy arrived to the scene of the all-you-can-eat house barbecue, he reported that the Florida man, Evan, was in the driveway at the time with visible soot on his face and around his nostrils. The deputy reported that this indicated the Florida man had been inside the house after the fire began. The deputy also noted that the Florida man had stains on his clothing that were consistent with at least one of the barbecue sauces. I wonder how the deputy came to this conclusion. Sir, I'm going to need to taste your sleeve along with this recliner. Barbecue sauce is the same on both. Now, it says at first, according to the report, the Florida man, Evan, said he spent the night at a nearby home. He said he was on the back porch of that house when he smelled an electrical fire, so he ran, quote, knees to chest. I think that means in a very exuberant way. He skipped over to the house to help the homeowner. This is his story. I smelled a fire. I went over to help the homeowner. He said he then kicked the front door in and was met with straight black smoke, so he crawled through the house trying to find the homeowner and trying to rescue anyone who might be inside. He said he used a fire extinguisher in an attempt to put out the fire, and when that didn't work, he decided that barbecue sauce would put out a fire. He saw a YouTube video. It's an old Anthony Bourdain episode where he used barbecue sauce to put out a small fire. I'm kidding about the last part. Deputies contacted the homeowner, who said she had moved to a different home. She and a witness showed deputies their phones, which had multiple missed phone calls from the Florida man in the hour before the fire was reported. So the Florida man knows these people and knows their phone numbers, apparently. Knows the homeowner, at least. I mean, this is what happens when you ask a Florida man to house sit for you. He sprays barbecue sauce all over the place and lights a fire. Florida man. Now, the witness apparently has a video of the Florida man partially in the house. Barbecue sauce is on the floor and on the victim. When confronted about the video, the Florida man reportedly admitted that he had poured condiments inside the homeowner's house, but said this type of prank was common among his group of friends. In fact, he claimed that the homeowner had previously put tuna inside his truck as a prank. Wow, this is some desperation. I mean, this is a cockamamie lie if I've ever heard one. Excuse my language. Florida man is just backpedaling any way that he can. No, this is a prank. My friends and I do this all the time. We pour barbecue sauce on your furniture and then light the living room on fire. It's a lot of fun. It's a great prank. People enjoy it, especially around the holidays. usually use eggnog for Christmas, but it's really expensive right now, so went with the barbecue. Of course, the homeowner denied that they had ever pulled any sort of pranks like this, including the alleged tuna in the truck, and said that this type of activity was not common in their group of friends. The damage to the home from the condiments only was estimated at $3,000 total, but that does not include damage from the fire or the smoke. Yeah, I mean, who cares about the barbecue damage if your entire home is half burnt down? I mean, what does that matter? Florida man. What kind of chemicals is he on? Did we get to the bottom of this? It doesn't say, but something strong. So strong that Florida man mistook a house for a full rack of ribs. A Florida man blames his drunk driving on a medical condition that he cannot pronounce. Oh, I'm so excited to learn what this medical condition might be. Buckle up, because this traffic stop was anything but routine. Police in a place called Lady Lake, Florida. I've had stories from Lady Lake before. Lady Lake, lay across my big brass gator. The police say that a Florida man was taken off the road after he was reportedly seen driving the wrong way down U.S. Highway 27 late at night, a move that had other drivers swerving for their lives. This all took place around 11:30 in the evening. Calls began flooding dispatch about a red Ford that was swerving, crossing lanes, nearly striking other vehicles, and only a way Florida man can. The vehicle was first spotted near County Road 25 and Griffith Avenue. You guys know the area. Great meth over there. The police quickly responded, blocked traffic, and stopped the vehicle near Water Oak Boulevard. You guys know the boulevard. A lot of good crack over there. Behind the wheel, the police found Florida man Christopher Johnson, age 44, who they say was showing, quote, signs of heavy impairment, could not stand on his own. They also noted there were some open containers of alcohol inside the car. Breathalyzer tests showed Florida man Johnson blew a 0.245 and a 0.236. This is nearly 3 times the legal limit, in case you can't do math. In fact, footage shows one officer asking Johnson to follow his finger with his eyes. Johnson's response? Well, that's a little difficult. I've always had a problem following things because of my condition. I got my EFD. It's hard to actually follow fingers. Hard to follow anything. When the officer asked what EFD stood for, the Florida man answered, hyper bleh. That's the quote. It actually says BLEH. I think it's bleh, or maybe the Florida man belched at that moment. Anybody know what this EFD might be? What's he trying to say? Is this just made up? This is Florida man's attempt to be creative to get out of crimes. They usually go a little stranger than this. Do you guys recall the story I covered of the Florida man who got pulled over for drunk driving and told the police that he only drank at stoplights? So, in other words, when the car was not moving. I'm not drinking and driving, officer. I'm drinking and idling. Is that bad? Is that frowned upon? Florida man's got excuses, bro. But, maybe he does have a condition. He's so drunk he can't remember what it is. At least he's not blaming other horrible behaviors on medical conditions out there in the world right now. Like, exposing his bum to children. He could be blaming that on his medical condition. I got my PTSD-LWQ from I wasn't in a war, but I did attend the Fry Festival a number of years ago, and that really took me for a spin. Anybody remember that festival? I watched the docs. Did you watch the docs? It's just kind of a cultural trend where there's whole generations blaming all sorts of unsavory behavior on their medical conditions, their mental conditions and whatnot. People are bringing miniature horses onto planes these days and blaming it on a medical condition because, flying makes them stressed, like they're special or something. Like flying doesn't make any, like the rest of us, not stressed. Like, oh no, we all love flying. You're special that it stresses you out. So go on, bring on a cockatoo so that you can feel better on the flight. Okay, so let me wind this down. Florida man Johnson has prior DUI convictions, driving on a suspended license. So he was again arrested but released on a bond. That's great. I wonder what he's going to be doing next weekend. What do you guys think? I don't know. Should we take a leap? Probably driving around again? I mean, this is what they do. A Florida woman tried to sacrifice her husband and son and then strangled a nurse This story is out of Pinellas County, Pinellas Park. Have you been down to Pinellas Park? That's where you want to go. Good prices for cigarettes down in Pinellas Park. It's worth it. Now, this Florida woman's name is Karen DeDirt, age 58. She attacked a nurse at a healthcare center and used the power cord from her ankle monitor to strangle the woman, according to the police department. Wow, this got off on a hot foot. She's got personality. Personality. The police claim that the nurse was injured from this incident, and she was charged with attempted murder of this nurse. This comes nearly 1 month after Karen was charged with attempted murder after her husband was found outside their home with a gash on his forearm. The victim, the husband, told Pinellas County Sheriff's Office detectives that he woke up to Karen standing over him and asking, "Where is our son? Where is our son?" When he questioned her, she said, "I need to sacrifice and kill you both. I need to sacrifice and kill you and our son." Well, this Karen sounds like a total hoot to have around. If you want, if you want to electrify your life a little bit, just inject some of this Florida woman into it. But at least she's dedicated, you know. Dedicated worshipers are hard to find. She's obviously trying to appease her god, Quetzalcoatl, with a human sacrifice or two. They say Floridians aren't faithful. Well, Karen certainly is. Okay, according to the victim, as she said, "I need to sacrifice and kill you both," she tried to stab him with a large knife. He was cut on the arm, trying to defend himself from the Florida woman. Karen repeatedly told the husband she was going to kill him, according to the arrest report. She posted bond 2 days later, and the charge was later changed from attempted murder to aggravated battery of the husband. Well, that explains why she wasn't placed into jail and instead was put into a healthcare facility while awaiting her court date, thus placing the entire hospital staff at risk. Good job, district attorney. I mean, why would you let this woman go to a healthcare facility instead of lock her up somewhere? I mean, she just tried to murder her husband. I mean, wow, I can't wrap my head around how this all works down there in Florida, but it's not working. You know, somebody was like, "Hey, she tried to kill her husband with a knife. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just put her in a healthcare facility. Don't worry, though. We'll put an ankle monitor on her. That'll make her behave." Yeah, unfortunately, she used the power cord from the ankle monitor to strangle a nurse. I mean, imagine. I mean, the nurse must have been surprised, right? Did they tell the nurses what the people are in there for? I mean, you might want to have the nurses armed in Florida. Like, you got ladies like this that are supposed to be under your care. You need to come armed with a taser at the least. Well, that's the end of the article. It doesn't say whether or not they're going to try and work this out. I mean, Thanksgiving's going to be weird this year. I'd imagine Karen's not going to be allowed to carve the turkey. A Florida man and 2 other individuals were caught having sex in a Winn Dixie parking lot. Stories out of Marathon, Florida. 3 people were arrested after the police in the Florida Keys say they were found having some intercourse while heavily intoxicated in the parking lot of a Winn Dixie, you guessed it, in the middle of the daytime. What is with Florida, man, having sex in parking lots all the time? It's bizarre, man. We need a theme song for this. Come on, take it. Making love in a Winn Dixie parking lot, baby. Oh, break it. Do me right here in the lot, yeah. You know you've done it. When we all go to jail, yes indeed. Let's get the details of this juicy love affair. Love in a parking lot. Deputies were called to the grocery store called Winn Dixie. It's a grocery store in Florida. A lot of good behavior going on in the parking lots of Winn Dixie. About the same as a Wendy's or Publix. This was around noon on a Saturday. They found all 3 individuals engaged in sexual acts, according to the sheriff's office. Ooh, what kind of acts? In the Winn Dixie parking lot. That's what we call the dirty Dixie. You know, getting it on in the parking lot. Hey, did you bring the mustard, Henry? And the fact that there's no vehicle involved. Imagine, so they're just standing around doing this in a parking lot at noon on a Saturday. Imagine, what, against a tree? It doesn't really give the details, but the fact that it's not in a car is just so surprising. I mean, it's one thing to convince somebody to come and do the dirty deed in a car with you in the parking lot, you know. Hey, you want to have a little grind time in my Econoline van over there? You want to join in? We got an Eiffel Tower going, but we need another leg. I mean, that might sound tempting to certain Florida citizens, but like, you know, no vehicle in a parking lot, standing, viewed by all. You know. All right, back to the article. It's got names of people. Sharon Helen Saplinsky, age 45, of Marathon, Florida, was charged with unlawful exposure of sexual organs, disorderly intoxication, and resisting without arrest. Deputies say it was her second arrest for similar public conduct in 3 months. Wow, she's really doing the rounds. She hit up the Walmart parking lot, the Wendy's parking lot, the Publix parking lot. She's just, hitting the trifecta of sex and parking lots in Florida. Marshall Adam Lowry, Florida man, age 43, of Key Largo, also charged with disorderly intoxication, committing unnatural and lascivious acts. Unnatural and lascivious. I've seen lascivious, but what is unnatural and lascivious act? What could that possibly mean? It probably means butt stuff, right? The unnatural acts mean butt stuff, butt things in Florida. I think you need to redefine it for Florida, because this whole activity in the parking lot really isn't that unnatural for Floridaman. I mean, you want to hear about some unnatural acts by Floridaman, listen to the Weird AF News podcast, specifically the Friday episodes. We'll get you going. I got unnatural acts by Floridaman for you out the wazoo. How about alleyway seagull humping with the Floridaman? Pretty unnatural. Definitely been done. Was it a seagull? It might have been a possum. Was it dead? It might have even been dead. Okay, our last Florida contestant is Michael McDonald Howard, age 59, of Marathon, Florida, charged with unlawful exposure of sexual organs and disorderly intoxication. So it doesn't sound like he was engaged in the unnatural and lascivious acts. He just had his organs out and he was intoxicated. Pretty much just a bystander enjoying the scene. Hey, man, I wasn't engaged in the Dirty Dixie. I was just watching and enjoying the Dirty Dixie with my barbecue sauce. Hi, everybody, my loyal listeners, weirdos. Thanks for spending a little time with me in this Florida Friday episode. And thank you to those who sent me Florida stories the past day or two. Appreciate it. Made my gig a little easier this Friday afternoon. I want to give some love to a couple people email me. We have Cassie here. She sent me a lovely article for the show, and she said, love your podcast, Jonesy. Thanks for making every day a bit lighter for so many people. You're the best. Good luck with your life, man. So shout out to Cassie. Got an email from somebody with the title YouTube. It says, hello, how are you? Really amazing, your YouTube channel. The person's name is Chapon. Chapon? I don't think I'm saying that right. And I'm not quite sure which YouTube channel you're referring to. It could be Weird AF News channel, which is at Weird AF News. It could be my Funny Jones channel. Funny Jones, at Funny Jones is where all my stand-up comedy clips are. So I'm not sure what this is about, but I would just want to say thank you. I don't get a lot of listeners and viewers on my YouTube channel, so it means a lot. And now a big thanks and praise goes out to someone who just joined the Patreon. It's Jesse G. Jesse G. A lot of love to Jesse G, OG listener of the show, and now a patron of the arts, big supporter of the show. So Jesse just became a member of the Patreon. Appreciate that so much, Jesse. Please enjoy the extra Weird AF News content that's in there. About at least 1,000 posts I put in there. So there's old bonus episodes in there. There's a lot of film recommendations, weird stuff in there that I recommend. Could be weird music, weird books, weird anime, weird film. Personal stuff in there as well. I just posted recently a video of me in my new closet space, which I gotta tweak it a little bit, but I posted a video in there nonetheless of what my new closet recording setup looks like here in my new apartment. So you could check all that out. I don't know if you're into more of me, but there's more of me in there. If you want more of me, the Patreon is definitely where it's at. You can join the Patreon by going to patreon.com/weirdafnews or weirdafnews.com. And you can do a lot of things at weirdafnews.com. You can send me stories there as well. You can join the Patreon. You can buy me a coffee if you'd like to send me a little something for the holidays. That would be lovely. I need a whiskey that I can pour into my eggnog. You know what I'm saying? Can't drink that stuff straight, guys. Come on, what are you, crazy? All right, well, I'm not going to keep you any further because it's the weekend. I want you to enjoy it. I got shows tonight, Friday night, Hollywood, and then on tomorrow night, Saturday in Long Beach if you want to hit me up for guest list privileges. I'm on Instagram at Funny Jones. I put a lot of videos over there as well of my stand-up if you'd like to check that out. At Funny Jones is where it's at. And as always, you can email me, funnyjones@gmail.com. I hope you have a great weekend and a nice afternoon, and good luck with your life, man. Yeah.